She's on me.
Oh my god, I feel bad for her. Well, this one's almost done. That's why I'm pushing.
She's right near you.
Well, I'm about to pop this gen. Alright, nice.
Let's go.
Damn, son.
What's up, my dudes? It's Turd, and I got another educational commentary video for you guys. This one's going to be about how to counter the nurse. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because everyone thinks that the nurse is the best killer in the game, that she's on top of the food chain. Now, that could be true on PC, however, I play PlayStation, and in my experience, she's not. In fact, out of all the times that I've played against the nurse, I have maybe died 5 times. When I spawn into a trial and I hear the nurse's first blink scream,
It's the nurse.
I stop everything that I'm doing and go look for the nurse.
Let's go. Oh, we got the nurse. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
Leave me alone.
I'm gonna try to run her for 5 gens.
Now, before we jump into the educational commentary gameplay, where I show you guys exactly how to apply these counters against the nurse, let's individually go over these counters and tips so that when you see them in the gameplay, you'll be able to identify them. The most important tip is to try to maintain distance and use obstacles to block the nurse's line of sight. It's hard for the nurse to blink on you and hit you if she can't see you. Notice how I'm running forward, but I have my camera looking back at the nurse. If I can see the nurse can see me. I like to compare it to how I run against the huntress in dead zones who's throwing hatchets at me.
I'm at such a...
Looking backwards as I run forward allows me to see the killer's red stain. If I didn't do that, I would have continued to run forward, running right into her point of view, allowing her to see me, blink on me, and get an easy hit. So now I can double back using obstacles to block her line of sight. And change direction again when she blinks, forcing her to fatigue, which then allows me to maintain more distance. I don't recommend 360ing the nurse. It is extremely hard to do so. However, if you learn how to sidestep tech, that is the technique that you want to use against her to make her swing and miss. Because console has analog sticks, learning how to sidestep is a little harder than on a PC. So let me show you how to do it.
Come on, sweetheart.
As the killer goes in for his lunge attack, rotate your movement analog stick to the left 90 degrees. At the exact same time, rotate your camera analog stick to the right 90 degrees. By doing both analog sticks at the same time, it makes the turn a sharp 90-degree angle instead of a rounded off, lazy turn. And when the killer misses, you're going to rotate both analog sticks back to the starting position. So your left analog stick, the moving analog stick, going forward, and your camera or the right analog stick looking backwards. Perfecting this technique can work against any killer and is something that you want in your repertoire. The next technique is what I like to call forcing the nurse to premature ejaculate. Now how this works is when you hear her charge up for a blink, you run back towards her, making her end her charge early, hence the name, and then you run back the other direction when she blinks. Let's talk about flashlights. You can burn the nurse kind of like how you can burn a cloaked wraith. As soon as the light touches the nurse, it puts a halt on any charge progress towards a blink. In this clip, I try to flash her before she even starts her charge so that she can't blink at all. However, she does start her charge before my light touches her. As soon as my light touches her, the progress stops. So if she was trying to go 20 meters, she wouldn't be able to. Unfortunately, she's only trying to go on the other side of the pallet to get the hit on the survivor. So she has enough charge and she is able to blink. So by shining my light on her now, I stop her from being able to charge. It makes her miss her 1.5 second window and forces her into fatigue, allowing the survivor to get away. This is a very advanced technique, but so gratifying when you pull it off. Well, alright, let's jump into the gameplay where I pretty much run the nurse the entire trial. Okay, we spawn in at Shelter Woods, which is a killer-sided map due to the fact that there aren't that many jungle gyms. It's wide open, it's spread out, and there's a ton of dead zones. And against a nurse, it's going to be in her favor because she can see you pretty much at all times. I leave Giselle, one of my Swift partners, to work on this generator as I head to one of the generators in the middle of the map.
For 5 gens. I'm gonna go find her right now.
Miguel tells me it's the nurse, and Diablo's already been hit. But like a fat kid in a candy shop, I can't resist, and I get all giddy inside, and I'm gonna go find me some of that sweet nectar. Normally, against any other killer, I would be putting pressure on the middle of the map, trying to get that generator done. But since it's the nurse, the best killer in the game, I'm gonna go pick a fight with her. And if I can pull aggro and get her to chase me, I know my teammates can get 3 to 5 gens done during that amount of time. It's early in the trial and the nurse already has 2 injured survivors, and now she's coming for me. So that's a pretty good indicator that she knows what she's doing, she understands how to split pressure, get multiple hits on targets, and so I need to kind of see what I'm dealing with. I'm going to pull her away from these survivors, let them reset, hopefully they'll get on some gens, and I'll take her for a long ride. That sound right there is the nurse charging up for a blink attack. Now I have a jungle gym straight ahead of me, but you can't loop a nurse at a jungle gym like you can other killers. She can just blink through the wall. But you can use jungle gyms to block line of sight and create more distance. That was a really good blink, and if she hits me here, it's definitely going to confirm that she knows what she's doing and she has some skill. Giselle is the only survivor at the moment that's working on a gen, and I know she's going to finish it soon. I'm going to create distance by using obstacles to block line of sight, yada yada yada, like I said before 100 times, and I'm going to heal up and get back into the fight. By default, it takes 16 seconds to fully heal up with the brown medkit, which is half the time it takes to use self-care. Miguel goes down, and he lets us know that she blinked on him while he was healing, so we can assume that she probably has the perk a nurse is calling. I'm going to get closer to the hook, but still maintain some distance, and be out in the open, so hopefully the nurse sees me and chases me. But as soon as she hooks Miguel, she heads straight for Diablo, who's working on a gen. That tells me that she probably has barbecue and chili. It's important to try to identify the killer's perk as quick as possible. That way you effectively can counter the player playing that killer. In this case, if I'm healing, I need to make sure that I'm at least 20 meters away from the killer. And if the killer's about to hook someone, if I don't want to be seen, I need to hop in a locker or hide behind a generator's aura. I've been doing everything in my power to try to get the nurse to chase me, and she's just not falling for the bait. But I promise she will at some point. Now, I've been kind of a useless teammate, to be completely honest. I haven't really done much. I hear a generator chugging along, and that's the one that Diablo was working on before he got chased. So I'm going to hop on that and I guess help the team out. Unfortunately, Miguel goes down, and he doesn't have DS, so this is going to be his second hook. Now, she does have barbecue and chili, so I don't think I'm going to finish this generator in time if she blinks over to me. So I'm going to listen for the blink and play off of that. Based on the distance of where I'm at and where the hook survivor is, and the fact that the nurse started her blink instantaneously, tells me that she's going to use a full charge blink to get to me. So I'm going to run towards her, making her blink past me, and then I'm going to lead her away from the hook survivor. By default, the nurse's first blink can cover 20 meters, and if she chooses to use a second blink, she can do an additional 10 meters. Meaning she can go 30 meters almost instantaneously. Coming out of a blink, she'll have a 2-second fatigue. If she swings and misses, you'll have an additional second, making it 3-second fatigue, which gives you enough time to get about a 15-meter head start before she can blink again. Now, her base movement speed is slower than a survivor. It's like 97%, I think. Now, I'm in chase, but as soon as Miguel got pulled off the hook, the nurse left me and went back towards him. Now you can say what you want to say, but in my opinion, that's still tunneling. Because I have empathy, I'm able to see Miguel's aura, so I know where he's at. So I'm going to head over there and try to pull her away again, because he's on death hook, and if he goes down, he's out of the game. Miguel healed up, and Diablo took a hit for him. And I got aggro, so I'm going to use these rocks to kind of block her line of sight, and then pull her away from this generator, so hopefully Miguel and Diablo can work on this generator together. Now, she's pretty close to me. She's right up on my ass, so I'm going to use the sidestep text that I talked about earlier to make her swing and miss, fatigue for 3 seconds, and let me build 15 meters of distance between her and I. As I approach this jungle gym to vault the window, I hear the nurse pull up a blink charge. Now I can assume that she's probably going to think that I'm going to run through the jungle gym after I vault the window. So instead I'm going to turn to the right and she'll overblink and have no clue where I am. I hear her charge for a second blink, so I think she's going to blink through the structure over here. So I'm going to wrap around this wall and go back into the jungle gym. Holy fucking shit. She's either a god or I outplayed myself.
Nice hit.
I continue running forward while the nurse fatigues and cleans off her weapon, and then look back to see how much distance I have on her. I hear her charging for a blink, and I know it's going to be maximum distance, so I'm going to cut back through the killer shack so that she overblinks, and then I'm going to continue through the killer shack to break line of sight and bloodlust. Now, I'm not completely done with her yet, so I make myself visible and wait for her to come get some.
You should go Wait,
I've got her right where I want her,
You're running
and she's
turn.
probably triggered. She's making desperate swings. Apparently, Miguel has been chasing the nurse, who's been chasing me for God knows how long, and Giselle tells him to be careful, and she's right, because he's on death hook, so he shouldn't be chasing me. He should be working on a generator, because I got this. This is what I do. I loot killers. I think Giselle is the only survivor
Come over
working
here.
on a generator.
Come over here,
Maybe
love.
Diablo is, but we know Miguel isn't. He plays really aggressive. He kind of
Poor
plays like I
nurse.
do.
She's like,
But
"What the
this
fuck?"
chase has already been 2 minutes,
you're late.
and we should have the generators repaired by now.
Miguel's just chasing you.
I lost the nurse again, and I've already maxed out my chase and my escape points. But we ain't done yet, so come on, nurse, bring it.
Totem.
Uh-oh. I lost him.
I've even lost Miguel, but the nurse found him. So now I need to try to pull the nurse off of Miguel again. So I vault the window to make a notification so that the nurse will come to me. Unfortunately,
Okay, she
it's
got
going to
me.
cost me, and I
I
go
was a little
down.
too cocky.
And Miguel is in position
Can
for
you
the
get him?
flashlight save if she picks me up.
If
But
she
she sees
chases you
him.
fully, I can recover with
What the
my
heck?
unbreakable.
Okay.
So like, fuck around
Now,
with
if he
her.
was injured, I would tell him just to
There you
run
go.
away, let me get hooked, regroup, it's okay.
If she comes back, like pretend like you're gonna flashlight, you know the whole drill.
Realistically, I should just get hooked.
I can pick
But
you
Miguel
up
was
if you
playing
want.
aggressive.
We're good.
He was
I'm up.
chasing the nurse who was chasing me. So why
Let's
change
go.
now? And he got hit. And he's in chase. And he's on death hook. But he was kind of asking
I'm
for
working
it.
on
So
another gen. It's like 20.
I don't
She's
know.
going after me now.
Okay. Do you need me to pull her off?
I ask him if he needs me to pull aggro, but unfortunately he goes down before I can get back to the nurse.
fuck.
I am injured, but I'm still gonna try to pull the nurse away from Miguel in hopes that another survivor can heal him up and we don't lose him. But after a quick sidestep tech and she swings and misses, she's gonna go back to the body,
That would help a lot.
and Miguel's done.
Nah, I'm dead.
Game over.
Damn, I pulled her away too.
Yeah, I'm getting on this one.
No, Miguel. Oh, Miguel.
I found a medkit in the
That's so
chest,
annoying,
which is
dude.
exactly what I was looking for, but Diablo is here, so I might as well let him get the altruistic points and not be greedy. It takes the same amount of time for a survivor to heal me, 16 seconds, that it would take for a brown medkit to heal myself.
Please by me. Please by me.
Alright, I'll go run her again.
The 3 remaining survivors are all fully healed up, and none of us have been hooked. So we're in a really good position right here, seeing that we only need to repair 1 generator. So if I can find the nurse and have her chase me, worst case scenario, I have to run her for 80 seconds if the 2 survivors are working on separate generators. But if they're working on the same generator and stacking, it's only going to take them 45 seconds. And we all know that I can run the killer for 45 seconds. I'm having a hard time finding the nurse, but Diablo just got hit. So I'm going to use his aura to track where the nurse is. This is why I love empathy so much. A lot of people think it's an altruistic perk, which it is. However, I use it a different way. I use it to see where the hurt survivor is, to track the killer in order to take aggro away from that hurt survivor and have the killer chase me. We have already established that the killer has the perk A Nurse is Calling, which at tier 1 allows her to see the aura of anyone healing within 20 meters, at tier 2, 24 meters, and at tier 3, 28 meters. So for Diablo to heal this close to the nurse is a big mistake. Luckily for him, I'm a fucking animal and I make big plays.
She's
If the
right near
nurse
you.
can get Diablo down into the basement, that just
Well,
might
I'm
be
gonna
enough
pop
to
these
change the
in.
outcome of the game completely. But I remember that the pallet is on that side of the shack, and so she's gonna have to walk through it in order
Let's
to get into
go.
the basement.
Nice.
Pallet
Did you get that
save.
pallet?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Alright, I'm about to pop this gen. 1, 2, and 3.
I can't stress enough how important situational awareness is in this game. And at the end of the game, I make another 200 IQ situational awareness play, and I'll explain that one in detail when it comes up.
99 the door.
So is the nurse the best killer in the game? Well, on PlayStation, I'm gonna say no. Now, I can only
Well,
base
I'm
that
not
judgment
saying
on the
that.
fact that I know how to play against the nurse, and through my experiences, she's probably the worst killer. But that's because I know how to play against her. I know how to counter her. Let me give you guys a fun analogy. We all know that guns can be more powerful than knives. Everyone's heard the saying, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. And let's say the gun has 50 bullets, but only 5 of them actually fire. 45 of the
I'm on
bullets
the
don't
left
fire at all.
one.
Well, then I'd rather take my chances against the
I don't
gun
know
than
where
against
you're at.
someone who has a knife. I'm keeping the nurse busy
You guys want
while
me
my
to
teammates
99 or
prep the
open it all
gates.
the way?
It only takes 20 seconds to open a gate, so I probably should have headed over
She's on
there
me.
earlier, but I'm having fun fucking
Oh,
around
I
with the
see.
nurse.
I see.
Of fucking course.
Oh, she's got no ed. Oh my god.
NOED
so-
rewards killers for
Should I
bad
find the totem?
gameplay,
I'm gonna
but
find
it's
the
such
totem,
a
it's
strong
my first
perk,
hook.
so I don't blame them for using it. Now, this is
Find
my
the totem.
first hook, and Giselle's got the
already found
gate
it?
99. So my teammates have 2 minutes to find the totem, cleanse the totem, and get me off the hook.
Find the
Giselle
next one,
finds
yeah.
the NOED totem
Yeah,
really
got it.
fast. Now, there is no rush to get me
First
off the
hook,
hook,
you got
but
2
Giselle
minutes to
kind of
get
freaks
that.
out.
Go get him, go get him, go get him, go get him.
So Diablo takes that advice and literally beelines straight for me, leaving scratch
So
marks
the
for the
gate-
nurse to see a mile
the
away.
gate that
Now,
was
what
by
Diablo
you,
should have done
that you
is just
just
took his
cleansed the
time.
totem, that
Like,
one's
just
99,
creep
right?
up here,
Yeah,
get
that
into
was-
position. There's plenty of time. That way the nurse doesn't see his
I'll
scratch
go
marks, doesn't know
99
he's
the other
there, and if the opportunity arises
I
for
might
you to
need
pull
you
me
to
off,
come
you
get
can
me,
pull me
yeah.
off. Diablo takes an early hit, and if he goes down
no,
here,
don't
the
get
nurse
him.
can
Yeah,
play
BT.
off this snowball and go for Giselle and get a
I don't have
4K. And what should have been an easy
Okay, you're
escape
ready.
for all of us instantaneously
careful.
becomes a challenge.
Nice.
It's always nice to look back at the situation and go,
Hold on.
oh yeah, I should have done that differently, and take it as a learning experience.
She's chasing you now.
Okay, Giselle's gonna get me off
Alright,
the
I
hook,
got him,
and
got him.
Diablo's in chase. And if
I'll take
Diablo
it for you,
can run the
Okay.
nurse long enough for us to get to the gate, I can open the gate, and Giselle can take a hit, and we can all escape.
Go, 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 go. Alright, come on guys, let's go. Oh,
I
shit,
decided to
oh.
throw a pebble at the nurse, cause I don't know, why not?
that's not that. that was
Maybe
not the-
it'll
that's not
help
the open
Diablo
one.
get
I'm going
away.
to the other exit. That's 99. Oh shit.
Okay, Diablo goes down, but
look,
it's
let
his
me clear
first
you
hook,
up,
so
and
we
then
have
we
plenty
can
of
go.
time.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Where you
go a
at?
little bit farther away to
behind
heal
you.
because she has nurses calling, and I don't want her to be able to double blink
I'm gonna use
onto
my
us.
med kit on you, so I can-
She also has barbecue and chili, so she's gonna know where we are. So if I do hear a blink, I'm gonna
You
leave the
got
area.
BT, right?
I don't have BT now.
Okay, well,
But
none
we're
of us
both
have.
healed, so we'll be fine.
Well,
We just need
yeah,
to
well-
all go to the same door.
While we heal up and get into position
Alright.
for the unhook, I'm gonna take the time to just
I'll go
thank
get 'em.
everyone for
I've
all the
never been
support.
fucked, so.
Last week I was
Okay.
less than 200 subscribers, and right now I'm already at 260.
Gotta
So
move.
again, you guys are awesome. Thanks for all the support. I'm growing really fast. Thanks for growing with me. If you like what I
Excuse
do,
me.
hit the like button, comment. I get back to
Ooh,
everyone.
that was-
And
ooh.
consider subscribing if you haven't already.
She's
Okay,
like
I got
that.
the nurse's attention, and I'm
Alright,
totally
we'll go
cool with
back.
taking a hit here so that when the nurse
ahead.
cleans off her weapon,
Hold on.
Giselle can get the save.
come on,
Now,
come
she
on,
doesn't
come on,
hit
run,
me,
run,
so
run,
we
run.
have 2 body blockers. And as long as we can go to the same
right,
gate,
right, right,
we should be
right.
able to get out no problem.
I'm sorry. Go, go, go. Yeah. Oh, she's. Oh.
Hey,
I
hit
do
me.
want to
Right,
apologize
right,
that
right,
at the
right,
end of
right,
this
right,
trial,
right,
it's a
right.
little lackluster. It's definitely not as
Okay,
exciting
keep
as it
going
was
that way. No, no,
earlier
no, no,
when I
no.
was
Okay,
running
yeah,
the
yeah,
nurse
yeah,
the
okay,
entire
right.
match, but there
the
still
right,
is
to
some
the
good
right, to the right.
information. And you definitely
that
want to
gate
watch
open.
till the end because I'm about to make a 200 IQ situational awareness play that a lot of you probably don't know but should know. Giselle goes down
You guys-
inside the
oh,
exit
fuck
gate
off.
and is about to get picked up. Notice that Diablo heads to the exit gate and is about to heal. And I don't fault him for that, because the majority of survivors do that exact same thing. They'll go into the exit gate and heal up, or try to heal up, but then when the killer hangs the survivor, the killer is just going to push these 2 survivors out of the trial, and the person that's on the hook is just going to die on hook.
Alright,
Don't
my
heal up
first-
right there. Come outside. Come over here, like far away, so she doesn't push us out.
We know that the nurse is going to
know what I
stick
mean?
around by the hook survivor. Okay, that's just common sense.
Okay, so just
So
come-
by
come out
leaving
here.
that
Come
area
out here.
and running
Come out
back
here.
into the trial,
Make
we're
sure
able
we're
to
far away
fully
enough
heal
she
both
doesn't
of us
blink on
and then
us.
come back in for the save.
We're cool. We're chilling right now, guys. We're chilling.
I would have liked a little more
So you're gonna have to
coordination
probably,
going in
like,
for the
you're
unhook
gonna get me
instead
out,
of
or,
just
like,
like
just
running
back.
Go ahead.
straight in to
Pull her
get the
off, pull her off.
save.
Nice.
I
But
took a
whatever.
hit.
I mean, I made her miss. I took a body block
We're
hit,
good. We're all out.
and we got out. So
That's what I'm talking about.
GG's.
Damn, son.